met you, sir, but what would you combine?
Who, me? I think I'll combine a lick and a me and
Move
ship it
along,
right over
stranger.
to you.
Hey, now, come on.
We don't want
What
any
the heck
trouble.
does he care anyway?
Well, I just think that was completely unfault. Ridiculous. Why does anybody care?
I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move
We
along.
almost got these bass-ackwards, chicken-fried idiots.
Armed
into thinking this
strangers
is a
wandering
cruise
into my
ship.
camp
Now
for
we
one.
just have to get through the
Some of
captain's
my
gear.
camp
What could
wandering
possibly
out
go
for
wrong?
another.
As captain of this castle, and by castle I mean ship, I'd like to welcome you to my table. Waiter, if you'd serve the crap, please.
You want to try standing outside in the heat, keeping your sights open for the next marauder raid? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me.
Captain, when will
Lady
we be
named
allowed
Zoe
on
went
deck?
missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace.
Oh, believe me.
Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her.
Will there be anything else?
No, we're good.
I go looking for Zoe, I leave the camp undefended, seeing as I'm the only one of us who knows her way around a gun. Hence my dilemma. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already. Little ways ago, she was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about. Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skill as far as I can tell. Marauder gang just moved into the district's a little ways east. Their numbers are growing. Gotta come from somewhere.
Bob, it's right underneath us.
I know!
Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does. She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere. Appreciate it. Honest. Over in the hothouse. Tending crop. I'll tell you what I can. What is it?
Oh gosh, it's so pretty.
Hi everyone, welcome to the satellite love. As you can see, there's changes in time. It's a little difficult to explain.
Not difficult at all, Mike. Acting on some ancient urge imprinted in my very teens. A few days ago, I wriggled my way onto
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
Point is,
I'm a butterfly, and
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who Blade will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long?
Party favor.
You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned. No, dear. The garden belongs to us all.
I'm still a beautiful boy.
Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice.
That depressed me, so I ate a lot of Malomars and gained all the weight back. But I was soon feeling better and went back to work. But alas, someone turned
Ah, cynicism. The privilege of the young. What you need is a little taste of my special mushroom soup. It'll broaden your mind, or at least your irises. A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
Well, makes sense.
It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject. Reed's dead. Excuse me if I don't shed a tear. I'm not exactly surprised he'd hire someone to cut off our power either. That's exactly his style. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. A hero to the people who matter. To us. To the ones who come around. To the ones you save. Reed will never understand. He has been too long inebriated on the wine of life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. I trust you will... Anything else I can do for you? That's not strange at all, dear. Few of us truly know where we are, but we must remember that being lost is the... This is the old botanical lab. Are you not feeling well? Ought to lay your head down if you're running fever. I get the sense that when you say hibernation, you are not talking about a full night's sleep. Where did you say you were from? I could do without the mockery. If you don't want to tell me where you're from, that's fine by me. Is that a new settlement of some kind? Oh, you're talking about that old piece of folklore. Now I'm convinced you're delirious. You really ought to lay your head down, dear. Babbling only agitates the humors. You ought to try some of my purgative tea.
Play-Doh to replace my butt. Eat death, robot.
Hey, you can throw things through Dad. I'm gonna get an anvil.
He's extremely high crotch.
I bought this with the royalties from an earlier short.
When did Gumby get a Class F license?
Oh, look at that robot! Oh, that's disgusting!
Davey and Goliath are moving in next door. There goes the neighborhood.
A sweater wrapped onto her head. I pooped again.
Seventh day with no food or water. Please have mercy.
Ah! They hung his head! Oh!
Now I'm ready for years of powerful Adlerian therapy, Mike.
They hung his head. Oh,
Offer void in Utah, Florida.
You hungry?
Arizona.
We got
Taxes,
canid
fees
ribs,
not included.
canid flank,
Delivery
canid
$40.
snout too. Something I can help you with?
Guys, I'm gonna get a free coffin, put some ice in it, fill it with beer, have a great theme party. That's what I'm doing. What are you gonna do with your free coffee? You take those off.
Yep, shocking horror.
Rekakax, coax.
You guys might be tempted to make a smoke on water joke here,
Okay, who turned up the heat in the hot tub?
My Sharona.
Yep, when you think shocking horror, you think German Oompa band music.
My soul loves for goodness.
Oh, I canoe a canoe bowl one time. Thank you. Betty Jane Lane. I knew a Peggy Sue Turnpike one time. Thank you. Thank you. I knew an Alex Christie Mack nickel one time. Thank you very much. Good night.
Yes, shocking horror arrives in style in your 1953 Mercedes.
You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions.
Just need to adjust you. There you go.
Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her.
Out of my way.
Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teach. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her. Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd. Hey, I got time. I'll help if I can.
Pleasant, but I have issues.
The other day, I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day.
No black-soled shoes, please.
Hey, I got time. Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Is he reading from a report?
Then that ends my narration.
So best of luck with our marriage. Hope to see you again soon.
I invite you to join me in marital intercourse.
Got to carry over the threshold.
Clapton, look.
I love you. I love you.
I thought life had died out for me.
And this confirms it.
Ew, gross.
Wanna go hunt for bugs?
Here, have a stick, honey.
What's that up there?
Oh, that's where Mickey keeps his gardening things. The gardener.
As previously implied.
He's kept it up the 2 years I've been away.
Himself?
That's right. hours on end working here in the
Process security. Watch out! I'm going! That's the last of them!
Come along, my dear. It's getting late.
Yes, you, hot stuff.
Thank you for the dinner.
What the hell was that?
I did have a gun in her ribs during dinner, but...
I knew you'd like my friend here. Yes.
Let's.
Nice pad he's got there.
Start my own song. Oh, I could read Paul Reiser's autobiography over and over.
I have a headache.
It's either the clown wallpaper or the flat spray paint. It was.
But what do you expect in my swimming pool?
Then it gets me.
Beginning security control. Suspicious data acquired. Investigating.
Wow, too bad. So, some?
Now let me tell you about Norman Schwarzkopf's book.
Flat trap.
Go! Attaching! I'll fix you right up! Don't mess with us!
Molito deck?
Sure thing.
Where's my friend Bob Skull? Did I mention him earlier?
Oh, there you are.
Have you ever barked at the moon lately, honey?
Do you like mayonnaise?
No, Chip. That may sound selfish.
I want everything for me.
Yeah, Mr. Snow, and then Mr. Horse, and then Mr. Mary Jane.
Where is he? dimension.
And now, because you're my wife, I'm gonna marry his house. I hate you.
Damn, he's a good gardener.
So I've hired Richard Crenna.
The Reverend Snow will be here in the morning.
You are a lifesaver. I can't believe I ran out of holy water.
Okay, I'll climb in and you confess through the little hole.
Well, this much is real anyway.
A place to put your gum.
See, this is how you gouge your hand. You say it through the skull down here for everybody. Find anything, Eric?
Nothing yet.
I'll slap the straitjacket on your wife.
Surely, Jenny, you must have real
That's the last.
And Eric has found nothing. Soon the skull will move on its own. All the way from there to the driveway door.
There's other skulls you could play with.
Once we do this, there's no going. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just
Actually
gotta
not,
ask you.
son.
Do you understand what you're about to do?
Especially crazy people.
I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore.
For an ugly
But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
Losers like you.
Well, that isn't very unusual.
Oh, well,
I understand many children
okay
go
then.
through such a period.
Can't.
All together. I'm going.
More skulls arrive in a cab. Night basket.
Heading out. I'm on my way.
The new Stevens song.
I was gonna do the dance of the seven veils,
I don't know
darling.
anybody who ever came out this far.
Where is Eric?
Let the length of my face comfort you.
I'll find him. Good, now be careful.
Uncle Lady will take care of you.
Stand and deliver! Always wanted to say that.
Wife's gone
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list.
my son.
Teach me your ways. What? You mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen.
You know, Jenny, this really is your fault.
Why did he do it?
Your money.
I'm great at clarifying.
Die in an accident.
No. I insinuated myself into their company, see? And they didn't seem to mind one whit.
Get into the
I may have
anti-sex
bartered them
movement.
a few boxes of Adrena time, but I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it. I don't know.
Should we call
The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable. Oh, you mean around these guys?
Live
The
frogs are
Marauders
best.
wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, it must be my natural charisma.
This is your colon on pork. Any questions?
I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague
Yeah, and the children
and
are all
stealing
the
some
same,
medicine to
right?
treat myself.
I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find but a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse? I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them. I've got all the time in Halcyon. Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong. I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about me. Wait, you're telling me he's got a copy of the Mass Marketeer? Why didn't you say so? I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glad.
Thanks. You have a good one. Thanks a lot, Mike. Now I'm just gonna have to return the thing. It's really sticky for the shipping. It's like $700. Ow. Tell me about it. I had to max out your eyes.
You're gonna get a lot of use out of that.
Yeah?
Come on.
Hey, there's an ape calling us.
Oh my goodness! Mike, Crow, Servo, why aren't you in your monkey costume? It's getting late and you're supposed to be in your monkey costume now. But remember, we agreed this is the time when you should be in your monkey costumes at this time.
What is it? We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. Zoe joined up with a band of marauders. Zoe, you pretty much did my job for me. Let me know if I can...
I really had you going there for a while. You thought I was an ape. I totally fried you losers.
Rain guy, would you mind?
Oh, I couldn't possibly. Oh, all right.
Is this your ship? Oh my stop! Oh, Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post. I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think? Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I never got along with Mr. Thompson, but I don't think he deserved to die. He tried to do his best. I don't know about that. Mr. Thompson wasn't an evil man. He wasn't given to violence. Though if Miss McDevitt were here, wager she'd agree with you. I had my misgivings about Miss McDevitt and the deserters, but you took pity on them and sent power to their garden, even though you knew Mr. Thompson would hate you for it. All this time, you've been determined to get your regulator back, get your ship up and running, and cut a path out of this place. And well, I want it.
Friends are...
Not much of an Edgewater left to go back to. My whole life's been small. I realized that when you walked into town. I've been seeing the same faces every day, the same sky, the same stars. Then I saw the ship. This gorgeous, stately lady with her eyes turned skyward, and I made up my mind to come and... Yes! I mean, happy.
Got it. All right, Chips, take it away.
Okay, Mike.
What happened to Crow there?
Oh, he went outside to check the ship's gutters. The derecho kicked up, and he got caught in a freak hailstorm.
Well, sure, it is the season for him, huh?
Yeah, about $3 grand in hail damage. It's going to be about 3 weeks in the shop, but Gyps gave me a loaner Crow, so.
Cool. It's that old AMC Crow that Gypsy's been tinkering with for years.
Hey guys, are there things that are happening?
Man, he must be running rich.
Yeah, well, I'll flip his air filter cover over, and he should be fine.
Check it out, he's got a killer radio. Wow, cool.
We'll be right back.
Later we'll take stuff and do it, right? Woo. Where does the continuing of things which goes again?
Man, he's getting worse.
Ew!
Hey, Crow, you look as good as new.
Yeah, Gypsy covered me with a layer of True Coat. Hey, fake me. She needs you
Do
back
you
in the
know
shop.
how
Some other
to
guy's
install
Crow
a
got
power
trashed by a
regulator?
semi on I-95.
The other guy's Crow?
Outstanding, Captain.
Things.
Your aptitude
Right,
for
okay.
engineering will prove
Oh,
invaluable
let's
in the
talk.
event of
Cheap
another
model.
catastrophic engine failure.
Okay,
Our engine
Milson,
room is
time for your
located behind you.
semi-annual checkup. So, how are you feeling these days?
Doing very well these days, Pearl. Thank you.
No physical pain anywhere? No mental anguish? No vague feelings of unease? Poor sleep? Crying, jags, hives, corns?
No. Well, I was a bit upset a few days ago when I lost some shiny bottle caps that I quite like, but I found them, and ever since, it's been damn good times.
What can I do for
I'm
you,
feeling
Captain?
very, very
All
happy, and I've
systems
never
are
felt
operating
healthier.
within acceptable
I have a good
parameters.
life. Thank
I
you.
am prepared to bring the unreliable into low altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight
To the
capabilities.
bone trying to make you miserable, and you have the insensitivity to tell me you're happy?
It might be for you to reevaluate the experiment itself. As a wise old observer once said, to constantly repeat the same action and expect a variant reaction is sure